All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our very first Lunch and Learn of 2025. For those of you who are new here in the MAWB community, I'll just let you know that every second Tuesday of the month, we have Lunch and Learn sessions. We have the next few all lined up. I just haven't had an opportunity to promote them. We've got a lot going on this month, but they'll be up soon. Our Lunch and Learn sessions are facilitated by our MAWB Directory members. So if you're a MAWB Directory member, you may recall receiving an email inviting you to submit a topic for a Lunch and Learn. If you don't recall seeing that email, or if you'd like to submit a topic, please see me afterwards, or send me a DM and I can send you that link. All right. So today we have the honor of having Dianne with us. And Dianne is going to be doing a mini vision board workshop. This is all focused around the word of the year. I know that many of you have probably chosen your word. You've maybe had chosen words in the past, but Dianne will walk us through some mindset stuff on how, why, what to choose. I'm really looking forward to it because I'll be honest, I have not chosen my word yet. And to be transparent, I did choose a word last year and either it failed me or I failed it. I'm not sure. But after about the first 8 weeks, it was just, and I've had words of the year before in the past and been very successful, but I don't know what happened last year. I think some COVID stuff was catching up with me. Whatever. I'm super excited, Dianne, to have you here. I'm going to do your introduction in just one moment. What I'd like to do very quickly is just give you a few quick announcements. We do have a huge number of events happening in January. I went gangbusters in mid-December and planned them all out. Now I'm kind of like, what did I do? Anyway, tomorrow is the start of our 3-week Instagram masterclass, January 15th, 22nd, and 29th. They'll be running for 3 Wednesdays from 10 to 12 at Touchdown Co-working Space. All of the events that I'm talking to you about today can all be found on mawb.ca/events. So check that out if you have a goal of upping your game with Instagram this year. We also have a session, a 2-hour session on Thursday called Learn How to Schedule Your Social Media Posts with Meta Business Suite. So we're going to show you how to schedule posts, how to schedule stories, and how to schedule reels. So that's some great stuff, scheduling and editing and, looking at insights. All right. And then I haven't taught this one in a long time. Super excited about it. It's getting started with LinkedIn, your first steps to success. So if you've been thinking, hey, I got to get on LinkedIn, but I'm not really sure, a lot of the focus is going to be around how to really optimize your bio and all the additional features that come with it. And of course, then show you how to post, what to post, show you how to schedule as well in Instagram. And just some stuff around, I don't know, let's say ethics and mindset when it comes to posting on LinkedIn. So check that one out. It is happening on January 23rd. That's a 3-hour session. All of these sessions I'm talking about are happening at Touchdown Co-working Space and are all in-person, hands-on training sessions. And lastly, I'll just tell you about the ChatGPT Basics training course. It's AI for beginners. We've had like 6 of these since November. They've been going well received and selling out. This one is taking place Tuesday, January 28th, again from 10 to 12 at Touchdown. So if you're interested in any of these, or if they seem like you would like to get more information on this, go to mawb.ca/events. All of these are there in full detail. All right. So what are we here for today? We're here for Dianne. Dianne, I'm so excited to have you on board. Dianne is a directory member. She joined us last fall. She's going to do a stellar job today. I know it. I've been watching and following along with some of her photos and her posts on her vision board classes. So let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's a certified life and business coach and a vision board trainer. She's dedicated to helping clients create clarity around their personal and professional goals. She empowers her clients to release doubts and insecurities, take meaningful action, and implement easy steps to achieve their dreams. With the background in sales and management, Dianne brings strategic mindset to her coaching And after leaving the corporate world, she made the shift to focus on supporting women in the professional world, independent. That's us here in this room today or around this virtual table. And she helps women, professional women, reclaim their time and prioritize themselves. Isn't that the truth, ladies? Don't we always put ourselves at the bottom of the list? I'll take that nap when this is done. I'll go for that, sauna, spa, gym when all the kids are taken care of, when the house is cleaned. Oh my goodness, I could go on. I know you have your own lists. Now, through her workshops and her one-on-one coaching, Dianne teaches female entrepreneurs how to balance their personal lives while running a business. She understands the unique challenges that women face, and she provides tools, techniques, and actionable steps to help her clients achieve success, joy, and balance. And there's so much more you can learn about her. I'm just going to let her take it away. I will share with you that the recording and any other information that Dianne wants us to know, I'll send that out afterwards along with all her contact information. Okay, so I am going to stop this share and I get to become a participant. Yay!
Yay, wonderful. Thank you. So let me just get my presentation and pop that up. So this will stop. Yes, perfect. Here we go. So let's get started. Can everybody see my screen okay? Is the slideshow visible to you guys? Let me just get it here. And I think I need to switch.
Yes, we are now seeing the full presentation view.
Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome. So first of all, and I can't see any of you. Oh, good. I have to look this way at my monitor, so bear with me. First of all, Christine, thank you so much for the opportunity to be with all of you today. I thoroughly appreciate it. Like you mentioned, I've seen a lot of words of the year popping up through social, but you addressed something really interesting when you said that you didn't feel the word of the year worked for you last year. And so one of the things that's unique about this workshop is I take you on a bit of a journey, as you mentioned, of mindset exercises that push you or pull you from your left brain thinking, which is logical, adulting, success-minded thinking, and we tap more into the right side of the brain, which gives you the ability to tap into what brings you joy, what you're truly connected with. It starts you imagining what type of dream life you wanted to create this year. It takes you out of your current circumstances and propels you into what can be. So thank you so much for that great introduction. You've already heard a little bit about me, but what I will mention to you as my word of the year, the first time I created it was in 2023, when I had just left corporate under what I call a mutual parting of the ways. So I knew that it wasn't the right fit for me, and my manager seemed to agree with me. And rather than looking at that as a negative, I really felt that the universe answered my ask, because I had started my certification to become a coach the December before I was let go in January. So rather than looking at that as a negative experience, I sometimes say the universe will answer you. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it's a frying pan in the head. So I really felt that that was the universe saying, yes, this is your chance to actually fulfill your dream of having a coaching business. So that's what I did. So my word of the year was joyous. I wasn't feeling particularly joyous, but I wanted to use that as a gauge to determine the decisions I made and the path that I took. And so that's the type of explanation I want to give you today when you're on the journey and you go through the questions. It's tapping into your deep intuition and tapping into what makes you happy that will lead you to the word of the year. So I am going to be taking you on a journey to dream and imagine what's possible. You will do these exercises as a way of helping you connect with and discover your word of the year. And then at the end, you will have an opportunity to share your word of the year and your mini vision board card with the group. And that's where the real empowerment and declaration of the connection of the word will occur. So you've got a notebook and a pen, hopefully, or a pen and paper. And so let's get started right away with the first mindset shift question, which is, and it's a big one, if time and money were no object, what would you do? So this question starts you to dream. So I recommend you just do a brain dump of anything big or small that comes to mind. This is really a what if. If time and money were no object, what would you do?
Hi. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Hi, this is Zoina. I want to ask, how do you like to respond? So, for instance, I was thinking about, like bullet points. Do you want an answer like elaborated like this and
Yeah,
this?
just one word answer, bulleted points. You're just doing a brain dump of everything that comes to mind.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks. And then when everybody feels like, I want to be mindful of time, when everybody feels like they're comfortable with how many answers they put down, I would love if people feel comfortable sharing what came up for them. Sorry, bear with me. Here we go. Okay, and actually, if you guys don't mind sharing verbally, I'd love to hear you share out loud if people want to speak to it.
I can start as well. So I have 3 bullet points. One would be helping others. Second would be to learn, and third would be to travel. So
Beautiful.
somehow similar to Christine, I just had one more, but she's doing it as well. So I think we are, and it was not inspired. It was just how I felt.
Beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else like to share?
Hi, Diane. Sure.
Hi, Allison.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
I think if money was no object, I think I would open my dream shop. And for sure live in my dream house. I'd like to be an active member of my community and volunteer.
Beautiful. Thank you, Allison.
Can I ask Allison, what's your dream shop focus? Do you have an idea of that dream shop?
Yeah, I can visualize it. It's a gift shop, lifestyle gift shop. And it probably has I can see a white brick outside with a arch doorway. I can perfectly see it. Been dreaming of it for a while.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Anybody else want to share?
I can go.
Sure.
I have a lot. Travel, physically volunteer more. So physically go out and volunteer more. Um, I would still serve clients with their real estate. I absolutely love what I do. I'd have a driver. I'd go on more spa days. And not only perhaps maybe spa days within Toronto, like even in other provinces, let's say. And I'd go to fancy dining restaurants other than just your local chain restaurant. And I would have high end, let's say, designer purses.
I love it. That's really tapping into expanding our mind as you imagine. It's tricky to really think big because our left brain still tends to keep us based on where we are currently, right? But I'd love for you all, if you don't mind, just taking a look at your list for the moment and what you discover about the desire you have. And when you have the thing, I want you to just maybe even pick one thing on your list that's speaks to you most right now. And I want you to sit in the feeling. How would you feel? How are you feeling having that? Write down the emotions that you are feeling about the thing. Because the truth of the matter is, on a vision board, it isn't so much about the things, but it's how we feel when that's the life we've created, when we have the things we are looking to manifest, whether it is serving others or whether it is a house, whatever that may be. So write down some emotions, some feelings that you have when you step into having something that you want on your list. This is going to help you connect towards your word of the year. Would anybody like to share some of the feelings that are coming up for them if they feel comfortable? Yes, Valerie.
It's related to travel and adventure, and the feeling is excitement, juicy connections, adventurous possibilities.
Beautiful. I love the double juicy connection. I love that you shared an adjective to describe the feeling you had. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else want to share some feelings or words that have come up for them?
I think I would say accomplished or full. Just
Mm, thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. So just keep this in mind as we're digging deeper and we're looking to connect with what your word might be. So one of the things we talk about in vision boards and concepts of manifestation is this: ask, believe, receive. And so this is really the formula. And all of these three aspects can be tricky for women. Christine touched upon it a bit at the beginning. We tend to be the doers for others, the givers. We tend to be the ones fulfilling the ask or the need. And it can be tricky for us to tap into, first of all, what do we need, first and foremost, and then tricky to ask because we don't want to be in a position, everyone's so busy. But really connecting with your mini vision board, connecting with starting to dream is asking. It's the first step to asking the universe for what you want. Okay. And then the next step is believing. This is also tricky because believing, you are believing without knowing the how. And I had a coffee with an amazing woman who had a great insight, and she said, how is not my job. So you are believing it's possible because your chances are you're stretching out to out of your comfort zone. You're imagining a future where you may not know the how you're going to get there. But you're believing it's still possible without knowing the how. And then receiving, again, tricky. Think about how we're not the greatest at receiving even a compliment. So we need to be in a place of feeling worthy of the ask, believing we are worthy of it happening and worthy of receiving it. And receiving can also be interesting because we may receive what we want, but it may be in a different way than we expected. So for example, I received what I wanted. I started my own coaching business and now I'm living the life of my dreams, but I received it in not a very comfortable way. But the universe will answer and receive. The question will be, will you receive it? And sometimes it comes in different circumstances, or it may come from a different person than you imagine. And that's doing a bit of letting go. I put it out there, and yes, I'm probably taking action towards my vision, but I also notice serendipity or opportunity in a way that maybe I didn't predict. And will you say yes to the receiving? The next exercise I absolutely love. This is rapid fire. I'm going to set my timer for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep saying to you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And you're going to write a one-word answer each time. Is everyone clear on that? Okay, let me just get my timer ready to go. You got your pen and paper ready? Let me just do this. We may do it twice. We'll see how it goes one time around. It goes quick. All right, and ready, go. What do you want? 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 And that's time. How was that for everybody? Was it easy? Was it hard? I'd love to know your thoughts.
It was like a race.
See, the intention here is rapid fire so that the left brain doesn't start getting logical with the self-doubt and the limiting belief. Oh, that's not possible. I could never afford that. How could that happen? I don't have the money right now, right? So rapid fire is what is it my gut? And a lot of times people may start with things to travel, a new house, success, more money. And then oftentimes as we get further and further into the time running out, it becomes happiness, joy, peace, comfort, safety, right? Anybody want to share some things that came up for them?
Interestingly, I often wrote down the thing I wanted, and then I wrote down the how. My brain did that. It did it. And
what
when
did I say? How is not your job?
I know. I even wrote that in the chat box. But then you know what? I look at this list, on my list 3 times, staff, people to do the work, systems. Interesting. These things came.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that because that is interesting because that's the other question I was going to ask and you already answered it. What came up more than once? And a lot of times people will be like you, Christine, surprised with what comes up. So that says a lot right there that you need staff and systems. Anybody else want to share?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, it happened to me. Happiness came twice, but I didn't write it down. And then the last ones were love, peace, and harmony. But then I ran out of ideas. So the last 2, we had 10 and 11. I did not know what else. I guess after love, peace, and harmony, there was nothing else that I could have wanted for.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So that's interesting too, depending on what you wrote down. Again, these may be unveiling and connecting you further to your word of the year. So one of the things, this is a photo of me and my family, because I want to talk about how gratitude changes everything. And I would imagine a lot of you mindset folks, I know that we're doing a lot of professional development. A lot of people understand the value of gratitude. I want to talk about this as it pertains to the believing part of the ask, believe, receive. Gratitude actually builds a sense of trust in the universe. And we believe that the world is for us. So when we shift our perspective, it takes us to a place of acknowledgement of what we already have in our life that we're grateful for, acknowledgement of the blessings and abundance that exists for us, as opposed to shifting to what's lacking, right? Because when you're stretching to believing, you're believing what is possible without the how beyond what you can currently imagine. And it shifts you from a place of, I'm so grateful for what I have now. I am open to more coming. And even Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about gratitude, doing a statement of gratitude, not based on something currently, although that's important too. But if you have, let's say, a vision of what you want or a goal that you want to achieve, you write it as a statement of gratitude in the present tense. So for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have a successful coaching business where I support 10 clients a month. So it becomes a goal written in a statement of gratitude for something that hasn't happened yet, but in the present tense. The receiving part, this may sound funny, but Christine actually mentioned this earlier, how she completely did a declutter of her house. So the question then becomes, not only are you able to mentally, spiritually receive, but are you able to physically receive? So what's in your wallet? How does your wallet look? Is it stuffed with gum wrappers and business cards and old receipts? Is your wallet open and ready to receive money? Is your space decluttered and open to receive? So not just are we spiritually and mentally open to receive, but what is our physical space say to the universe in terms of our ability to receive? So the materials, Christine already mentioned, the materials you're going to need to do your mini vision board is going to be some kind of card stock. It can be white, it can be a color, some stickers, you may have some images, And basically, what is your word of the year? Your word of the year, as we're discovering, is something that has value and meaning to you. It is not anyone else's words. I'll talk in a moment that words do have power and they do have meaning, and they mean something different for everyone. And so there should be an emotional response and a connection to your word. Your word is not designed to be a word to make you more productive or better. It's not a word to shame you. It's a word to encourage you, ground you. It can inspire you into action. But it's the type of word that when things are great, it charges you. But when the ebbs and flows happen and maybe you're struggling or having an off day, it encourages you. And so when you create your card, here are some examples. Your word of the year should be the main focus of your card. And then the embellishments are going to have meaning to you, a symbolic representation of your word or the life you want to create. So when I talked about words having meaning and power and being and the meaning to you that's relevant is responsibility is an example. So responsibility is a big word. Everyone has a different opinion or view of responsibility, I would say, based on their life experience. I'm okay with this word now. When I was younger, or even not too long ago, it would have felt like a heavy word to me. You know, I grew up as the oldest child. My parents were very young when they had me. I kind of felt like I parented my parents. I've always felt responsible for a lot of other people. And so for me, this was a heavy word. So probably wouldn't have been a word I would have chosen as a word of the year. But you can spin the interpretation of the word to, I have the ability to respond, or I can respond to my abilities. So when you are connecting, because I've had many people, first of all, if you haven't found your word yet, don't worry. It can take a bit of time and I can support you with that. But I've had people say, "Oh, I feel like my word should be powerful, but that's wrong, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Why would you say it's wrong?" Well, people may look at that and think that I mean I am powerful, and that has a negative connotation. Your word is your word, and your interpretation of the word is what matters. So we're going to do another exercise now to help you connect more closely with your word of the year. And I want you to do another brain dump, if you will, in your book. What is your bliss? And I would love for you to just dump everything that makes you happy and brings you joy. Just do a brain dump in your journal, big or small. Hmm. How is that for everybody? Easy? Difficult? Any surprises?
No surprises, but I find it interesting that I always go to the thinking of the how or the what. And like I had to look up like 3 times to go, oh yeah, what's the question? I was like, oh yeah, how I want to feel. So it wasn't, the feelings didn't come to the end until I thought I was done. But I really didn't get done until the
No,
third
but I
kind of grouping of words.
thank you. That's really interesting sharing and not surprising. I think I don't know if you can relate to this. I mean, I used to define my actions as productive or non-productive,
Yeah.
right? I couldn't just be in a anytime I was doing anything, if it was work wise, I'd be like, I should be doing stuff from home. If I'm relaxing, I felt like I wasn't being productive. So it really does take a shift in practice and this types of exercises where you realize that it's all of value to who I am as a person fully and what I bring to everything I do. And maybe when I'm stepping in, the whole point here is the more I step into my bliss and my joy, the more productive I am and capable I am, and the more I bring to everything I do. And that's not a, like you said, last thing on the list when time may be left over. It's not, this is a way of being. And when I am like this, everything, I bring so much more to everything I do, and I enjoy so much more. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Anybody else want to share things that make them happy, bring them joy, bring them bliss, feelings they have when they're in those places?
I think mine started with things like chocolate, a good meal, going to the theater, but it ended up turning into like helping others and spending the day with my mom or a hug from my kids.
And if when you're doing those things again, how do you feel, Allison? What are some feelings that come up for you?
Just like fulfilled and happy.
Thank you. Thank you. So some of the ways of connecting with your word are, where are you the happiest? And Allison just shared some right now. Who are you with? What are you doing? As you can see, for me, connecting with women and being part of community of women is extremely enjoyable and joyful for me, because I feel as though we understand each other. We feel heard and seen. We feel supportive, and we also give to each other and get filled up, because often we're giving to others. And I think we understand a shared experience. I often say we're more alike than we are different. And so on the right-hand side, left-hand side, you can see a picture of my friends. A couple of years ago for Mother's Day, I did a high tea for all of the women in my life to show them how much I appreciated them. I've been on women's retreats, and I'm also part of a women's chorus. It's 4-part harmony a cappella. And there's like 60 of us, and they're like age late 20s to 84. And so it's not only a place where I can sing, because I love to sing, and we make harmony together, but it's also a place where we develop friendship and support each other. And that's really important to me. So when you think about where you are feeling most fulfilled and the places where you are happiest, that feeling that you have when you're in those spaces can help you find your word of the year. These are some examples of words. If you're still trying to figure out, your word can be a noun, it can be a verb. So this was a workshop that was done by the woman who runs the Vision Board Academy. It was with a large corporation, and these were for all the employees globally. And it was a virtual workshop like this. And anything you see that's very large and dominant means it's words that were repeated by multiple people, right? And so things like strength, peace, happiness, grace, trust. So if you're still going, I'm not 100% sure what my word is, it can be a noun or a verb. These are some examples. Your word should make you feel joyful. It should make you feel inspired. It should move you into action and also make you feel safe. So we're going to get started on doing your little word of the year mini vision board now. So I don't know if you picked a card that's color or if it's white, but I wanted to do a little quick feng shui here before you start embellishing. If you did pick a color card, This is some feng shui meanings, and feel free, to take a photo if you like. Deeper blues infuses wisdom and introspection. White cultivates clarity, precision, and communication. Purple inspires spirituality, adventure, and prosperity. I don't know if anyone has pink, represents love, romance, and partnership. Red is a stimulator, so stepping into action. Orange is uplifting and promotes happiness. Green represents growth and new beginnings, as well as healing and freshness. Yellow symbolizes power, stimulates health, patience, and wisdom. And then blue-greens represents youth, new beginnings, and inspires confidence. Sometimes afterwards, if you've got a white card, now that you've seen this, but sometimes, and we do this on the vision board, the images you represent or pick may have a couple of different main color areas, and that's subconscious in terms of what it is you need and you're working on. So now you have the opportunity, I think, how are we doing? Now it's a bit tight for time. Do we have a hard stop at 1 o'clock, Christine?
I mean, you can stay on the Zoom as long as you want. There's no other people using the Zoom. It's just a matter of whether people have anything booked after.
Fair
So-
enough. So I mean, let's try to do the card in 10 minutes. If not, we could push it to 15. And then what we can do is we can all share. Everyone gets a chance to share what their word of the year is and what's on their card. How does that sound? All right, perfect. So happy creating is, first of all, does everybody have their word? Does anybody need some support?
I have my word. I don't have any supplies, as I explained to you. I gave everything away. I feel good about that. So I'm actually doing mine in Canva. So it's a digital board.
Sure. Does everybody else have their word? Does anybody not have their word?
Is accountable not a good word?
Great question, Allison. I think that's more putting pressure on you to be something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's more like it's tapping more into the I need to be productive, I need to be, as opposed to how do I want to feel? Right? When do I feel like what empowers me? Yeah, it makes me feel safe and motivated and joyful. How do I want to feel if I had the perfect life or the life of my vision? What's that feeling? What's that word? Does that help?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
perfect. So happy creating. If anybody has any questions, I'm here to support.
Would joyful be a good word, like a reasonable one?
Yeah, if that feels connected to you, I know that that was my word, my first power word. How does
Really?
that feel to you when you think about it?
Because I'm not sure what would be the action around it.
So right now, this is just a feeling. And so there's no productivity or action you would need. It's more about how do I feel? So you want to use your letters or whatever to make joyful in the middle of your card. And then if you have stickers, what stickers make you feel joyful when you look at them? And then that could go on your card. Does that help?
Yes, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to put the example of the other ones up here for everybody, if that helps. There we are. Miss Morella, you're so cute. I'm done. I hope I did it right. There's no right or wrong. Look forward to you sharing.
I actually changed my word
Ah,
as we were doing this webinar. So
okay.
I don't know.
I'll look forward. Yeah, I'll look forward to you sharing that. I'm not surprised because again, this is interesting, right? Like when everyone was posting, I didn't share what my word was because I hadn't done the introspection to connect with my word. And when I did this workshop in person last Thursday with the women's circle, there were a lot of women who were surprised by the word that came up for them. It's like anything else, right? It's a journey. You're tapping, we can be thinking very left brain if we haven't done any of the mindset stuff. Normally I open with a meditation, but because we were tight on time, so it's usually the meditation to get you into your right brain and then the mindset stuff to take you on the journey of your right brain. So if we've just thought of a word without any of that, it's often a left brain. It looks productive. It sounds, success minded. This will be the year. And it's understanding the motivation intention behind that word as a grounding word, which can propel you into action, but also helps to support and motivate you through the ebb and flow of being an entrepreneur, right? Like sometimes we just need to be allowed to be. And sometimes we need to tap back into joy and fun because honestly, isn't that partly why we decided to do what we're doing? Otherwise, I'd still be nose to the grindstone in corporate, right? Let's be let's be honest, right? Like we can open up a space and say, I can enjoy what I do and be
So
successful.
true.
It doesn't have to be hard, right? How are we doing for timing? Because I want to be respectful of everyone's time and I want everyone to have an opportunity to share their word. Does everybody feel okay to share now? Finish completing what they've done so far, even if it means they might need to do a bit more embellishing after. Is that okay?
That would be fine. I'm not done, but that's okay.
Is that okay? What are your thoughts, Christine? I just want to be respectful of people's time.
Sorry. Yeah, I think that's good. Sorry, my phone died. I can't find my plug. So what time is it? Yeah, 12:57. I think that's fair.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So let me just do this. And then I want everyone to share. So just wanted to mention, not to worry if you are feeling inclined to do a massive, Allison just did the vision board workshop on Saturday with me. So just to give you an example, this is what a vision board looks like when you do a full workshop, and the word of the year with some images is just a starting point for a mini version of starting to dream. But this space, we actually do about 90 minutes of mindset work in the morning and then push through some limiting belief exercises. And then you've got about 3 hours to select your images and create a vision board. Because one of the things to keep in mind is, where does this show up in your life? Where does your word show up in your life? Along with being productive and non-productive, I used to silo myself. I don't know if any of you do this. I'm in work mode, I'm in mom mode, I'm in friend mode. But we bring ourselves to every aspect of our life, and all of them are equally important in terms of creating a life, right? There's not one part of it. So think about your word and where it shows up for you, and how can it show up in all areas of your life. So I'm going to stop sharing because I would love to be able to see everybody. And then have everybody, when they feel comfortable, share their word or their board as well if it's completed. Let me just close this.
Okay, I can go.
Okay, just one
Since
second.
I was talking about it. Okay, so my word at first was create.
Yes.
And then I actually went to serenity.
Oh,
So peace of mind always comes to my mind. So I thought that serenity is a word that can describe peace of mind. Now the thing is though is that I did it, and so these little like arrows, like I put travel, I put money, service 50 clients, time with Mike and the kids, alone time as well, the fine dining, the savings, the beach water, the spa days. So for me, all these things around it define the peace of mind.
Beautiful.
Does that make sense?
Totally. And that's what you're saying. When you have the thing or you have the goal or the thing you'd like to do, what is the feeling you have behind it? What is your why?
Yes.
Beautiful.
So
I
so
would,
that's the feeling, I guess, right? It's not, so
Yes.
it's basically these things are bringing me to feel this.
yes.
It's not like the other way around.
Yes, exact. Yes, that is how you want to feel in all things. The goal here is that that is how you feel anyway, right? You're
Yes.
not waiting to have the thing to feel serenity
No.
with that, right? My opportunity for you to consider, if you feel comfortable with it, is to do your card again another time when you're not rushed with images. And the reason why images are important is they're 60,000 times more impactful on the brain than words, and your brain cannot tell the difference between the image of something happening and it happening. And it only
Yeah.
takes 13 milliseconds for the brain to understand the meaning behind an image. So when you look at your card and when you look at your vision board, your brain thinks, oh, this is my life. But you've connected with it more immediately than the word, because your brain has to process the meaning behind the word, as opposed to the image makes your brain go, oh, this is Morella's life. There she is at the spa. There she is dining with her husband. Oh, that's the trip she took to Italy. And then your actions will align to create the vision.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Anybody else want to share? Christine, did you want to share?
I think Valerie stood up with hers.
Valerie, let's see.
Well, there's so much to add, but when you made the comment about juicy connections, the word luscious came. I've been holding myself back, staying small, and it's time like to break out of the little cage. It's a gestational piece and I'm ready to fly. I'm grounded. I'm reconfiguring my experience within my family of origin and through timeline, recreating that so I can be all that I'm meant to be, so that I can serve. So there's a bird there resting. And this is about adventure. It says free. There's a bird ready to fly away. And there's clearly more to add. And there are little symbols along the way, signs along the way. This is a little feather. Little signs along the way that I need to follow this year. There's so much more to add, but it's just, I appreciated your feedback about juicy connections. The word luscious came because I really need to step into a fuller expression of who I am and what I can do.
That's very beautiful. I really appreciate you sharing, and you did a beautiful job of explaining how the imagery connects you with the feeling of the word. And I want to thank you for that, because sometimes when you're trying to explain that, it doesn't always connect. And I think your sharing of your word really, I hope for the group, really illustrated how those symbols or images for you reinforce the feeling of luscious. And it's such a there's so much to that word, like, ooh, it is juicy, like luscious. It's a very full and descriptive word. You don't have to explain, like people have a visceral feeling when you say that. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Valerie.
Yeah.
Who else would like to share?
I put mine in the chat box.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I chose the word
beautiful.
prosperity, and
Yes.
it is in the center of the tree of life,
You see that.
because I feel we cannot move forward without taking our history with us, the good parts, and then maybe letting go of some of the bad, or that's who we are, right? Anyway, at the bottom of my image are the roots, the grounding things, which is right in the center, health, the hands with health. Without that, certainly as we age, we are seeing so many people who are sick, and we're getting creaky, or I'll speak for myself, I'm getting creaky. So that's it, to live the prosperous, abundant life that I have for myself in the future, I must maintain my health. But what else do I have down there? Of course, my family is the center of everything I do. And then on the right-hand side, I have a head with, garbage in, garbage out, what we feed our body, and what we learn helps us to become better or improved or prosperous. I also put the little definition that prosperous defines a collective. For me, that's what it means for me. In the top right hand corner, I did some physical stuff, some nature stuff. I didn't get a chance to put an airplane in there because I'd like to travel more, but my kayak, I spend a lot of my summer on my kayak on the water. That brings me so much joy. The dragonfly reminds me of my very first love emotion that I felt with my husband before we even began dating. We were kayaking in Algonquin Park. Up in the top left, that's work, feeling connected, feeling supported, helping others, and of course the money. I don't want to make that sound like greedy, but it needs to be there because without the cash, how am I going to do this other stuff?
100%.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of,
Thank you.
and I thank you for your color board, because
Blue.
I put purple in the background, and look what color I chose to wear today. I just grabbed a suit jacket out of the closet and it's purple.
There are
So,
no accidents. I just
yeah.
want to thank you so much for sharing. I think that's beautiful. And I want to address the whole point, yes, quickly about money. Money
Yeah.
is not greedy. And on the vision board workshop, we have a check that you fill out with an amount. And we talk about the fact that the intention behind the money is the money will fuel the life that you are creating, right? And money is just energy, as we know. So thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? I can't see who else is on the call.
Allison just came off, so maybe she wants to.
Sure. I put mine in the chat also. I did in Canva.
Oh, great. Let's look.
And
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see
You
it?
hit the enter button?
I did.
Okay. Or did you just send it to Dianne?
Yeah, let me try again. I'm not sure.
Is this the big one that you did previously, or did you do a small one just now with us on the
Yeah, I just did a small one with you guys right now. You still can't see it?
No.
Do I put it in the chat?
Yeah. I find I've had a bit of
Send to chat.
I was going to say, oh, just hold it up, but you did it up. Oh, you did it on your computer. So for some reason, I saw a flash, but then it disappeared. I wonder if, you know what I did, Allison? I just did a screenshot. And then I went to my documents and uploaded it as an image into the, using the file button.
Okay.
So as Allison's doing that, and I want to say what you can do is I have mine on a little stand in my office. It's right beside my laptop. I can see it all the time. My actual vision board's on my dresser, so I see it in the morning and at night because that's when the subconscious is most open and aware. But for Canva or anybody else, you can even take a photo of it or do it as a screenshot on your phone. So it's something that you see on a regular basis because the intention of the word plus the imagery around there is its own mini vision board to help your brain place importance on what's important to you. And that is how you show up. That's how your actions are aligned. So this is all neuroscience. This is not woo-woo. Your brain places importance on what you tell it to be important, and therefore your behavior will match what is important to you. And that's where all of a sudden these things start to happen and manifest for you. Any luck, Allison?
I'm just going to press enter and maybe it'll work.
Yeah, I keep seeing. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
Oh, beautiful. Tell us about your word, Allison.
So accomplished because I want to finish a lot of things this year or get a lot of things done. One thing is to focus on my business and hopefully make this the year that I've been dreaming of it being. And then having my family around me as a big community of people that we spend more time together in a home that I'm hoping to get this year. To volunteer, I haven't volunteered in person in a very long time, so I feel like the need to to be part of a community and to help other people. And then probably to travel, but I guess I have to make my money before I can do all that. So this year is really focused on growing my business so I can do all the other things.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for taking the journey with me, for your vulnerability and your open-mindedness to connect with yourself, tap into dreaming about what you want, possibly managing some little limiting beliefs that could pop up and stop you. Or so I think maybe the main takeaway is how is not my job, meaning ask, believe, receive, dream big, believe it's possible. And then just step into action, and you never know what may come your way. Serendipity, and maybe things will come easier, and maybe things will unexpectedly come in a way you didn't see, and maybe things will come in a way that's even greater than you could possibly imagine. And so I wish that for all of you and for all of us. I hope you're feeling optimistic and joyful about 2025. I know I am. Last year was an interesting year of journey and growth for me, and I feel very revitalized and excited and engaged to live an amazing, authentic, joyful 2025. And I wish the same for all of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I definitely feel more grounded and settled now that I have my word. You know, it's almost like something to work towards.
Totally agree. Thanks, Dianne.
Pleasure.
And Valerie, you have to schedule time on your we all do, schedule time on our calendar to keep filling that board up, your big board. Keep going, adding to it.
And I need to schedule time to put enjoyment in, because that's why it's so essential, those words right now. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Right.
Okay, ladies. And did you, Dianne, want to end with anything? Do you have an event coming up? Do you have some information on how one can work with you? Is there anything you want?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of events last month, and this month I will continue to be doing full day vision board workshops as the groups build. So I just finished one on Saturday for National Vision Board Day. I don't have one for February, but I have a lot of people on a waiting list, so I may very well do that. So I will be showing up consistently on MAWB Facebook with any events or opportunities I have as they come up.
That's awesome. All right, ladies, have an amazing day. Stay warm and be prosperous.
Yay. Thanks,
Sorry,
everybody.
throw my word on you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again.
Thanks, Dianne.
Bye, everyone.
much.
Thanks,
Bye,
Dianne.
everyone.